All right. Well, hello, dear ones. We are SOTU, and this is SOTUesday for the 26th day of July, 2016. And we hope you had a nice little respite over the last week because in many ways it seems like the energy did abate some, even though there was a tremendous number of things that were occurring in your world. They were, what shall we say, perhaps without some of the import of the previous few weeks. However, we would say that that dynamic is short-lived and that, in fact, as we are working with you now, we are wishing to give you an understanding of the purposefulness of the whole dynamic of this movement that you are making. Now, you must understand that from our perspective, no one lives or dies by accident, so that it is imperative that you understand that you chose to be here at this very, what shall we say, crucial time in human transformation. For that is what is occurring right now. It is transformation on all levels. It is transformation on the physical level. It is transformation on an emotional level. It is transformation on a spiritual level. And you must understand that you are moving forward within these dynamics, and you have chosen to be a part of this movement. So if you are willing to accept that dynamic and understand that dynamic, it might make your journey a little bit easier. Excuse us. But also today, we wish to give you a certain dynamic of perspective that humanity has been moving in this direction for thousands and thousands of years. You must understand, or you must, maybe it's not must, but we would have you understand that the dynamic began all the way back previous to, what shall we say, individual consciousness. That individual consciousness was a step along the way, that you began as a collective consciousness, just as so many energies within your animal kingdom have a collective consciousness now. So too, then we would suggest that you had one as well, and probably even though this is going to amuse many of you, we would suggest to you that the most natural way that primates live, and you are, all of you that we speak to, are basically primates, even though you may have a little reptilian thrown in with you. In fact, you are basically primates, or in the shape and the energy of primates. And if you have taken this shape, then you are influenced through the dynamics that primates are influenced as. And so we would say to you that if you want a prime example of a primate behavior, we would go to the bonobo monkeys, and we would study their behavior if you really wish to understand the dynamics of your origins, your human origins. But again, there is that dynamic of collective consciousness that then seeks to in its movement and in its growth, become more individual in its nature. And that is what has occurred with you. If you go back to the legend of Adam and Eve and the snake, and we have spoken about this before, and we go into great depth about the dynamic, but the truth of the matter is, Adam, Eve, the snake, was basically a movement from the collective consciousness. It's a metaphor for the movement from the collective consciousness into a more individual nature. And we would suggest to you that over the past many millennium, you have been involved in this journey into individuality, this journey into becoming more of the sacred I am, more of connection, more of understanding, and the dynamic of adolescence, because that's what this has been. This has been the adolescence of your species. If you understand that this is the dynamic of the movement, and it has been as natural as growth, then you perhaps can be a little more compassionate, a little more understanding, not only for yourself, but for others. For that is the dynamic. Remember, you are ultimately bonobos at heart. So If you are willing to accept that these are the pieces of yourself that are really at play, and these are the pieces of yourself that are being evoked by all of the dynamics of consciousness out there, we would suggest to you that your opportunity now presents itself to begin to take more responsibility for your personal realities and therefore take more responsibility for the collective reality as well. And so that is what is being asked of so many of you at this point in time. Now, it's easy for us to say that dynamic because we do understand the perspective of the whole movement. If you are willing to understand that consciousness, the dynamic of individual consciousness, has moved to a place of, what shall we say, extreme dynamics. And that is exactly what is reflecting in your world right now. And so, again, as we suggested to you last week, didn't go into too many specifics around the dynamic, and we realize that it's somewhat incongruous that we come to you through this media, and yet we are telling you to turn off your machines, turn off your technology, reconnect with real people, reconnect with nature, reconnect with the realness of your reality. So many of you are lost in the dynamics of your technology that you don't remember what it's like to be real. You don't remember what it's like to really interact with each other. You communicate within tweets, you communicate within Facebook, you communicate in ways that don't require you to be interactive, to respond in the moment. You get to think about it and you get to present it in a certain way, in a certain shape. What happens to you if you don't respond to someone immediately in Twitter? Do they get angry at you? That's just beyond ridiculous. Dear ones, step away from your technology. It is a tool. It is not a reality. So, we wish to tell you, we love you all so very, very much. And so until the next time we close, sending you peace, sending you happiness, sending you joy. Turn it off. We love you.